quiet seaside town, an evil lain to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Dun 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 dun. It's March. It's Malt. It's time for week 4, the final week of Malt Madness. David, take it away.
That's right, ladies and gentle listeners. Welcome back to Malt Madness, aka Tabletop Gold. We're gonna do the finals, and we'll set up the finals in a moment. I want to take just a moment before we get into this to ask the cast: do you know what malt is?
I know it comes from like grains, like wheat.
Yes,
barley.
I'm going to say that I know exactly what Robin knows. It's something that we get from barley or wheat is exactly where I'm at with this one.
Yes. So here is the story, and I did not know this before starting the prep for the bracket. It's what it is you put a seed into water for long enough that the seed starts to germinate in the water.
Okay.
And then you take it out and dry it. And the fact that you've submerged it in water and had the germination process start makes it like, I guess, sugarier.
Oh.
So that then when you dry it and you use it in the way that you would typically use a grain, it has a different taste, flavor profile.
So you could malt like wheat or rice or whatever. You could malt whatever you wanted to. You could just be like a malt freak going out there malting
malt
all those
a potato?
seeds.
It turns out, Lars, the
Could you
term
malt
is
yeah.
a maltster.
A maltster?
The person who makes malt.
This pervert out there malting everything?
Yeah, I believe that's the term, or it's a term that's just used on this one website, and we'll never know.
Cereal grains.
Over at maltster.com.
Yeah, that is the social network for maltsters.
Oh, they could make rice malt. So in theory, Zoe,
Totally.
there could be some malt product that won't kill you.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I think anything is maltable. Now we're starting to push the limits of what I myself Googled. But
I'm a seed fucker. Could you malt me?
and with that, we will move into today's match.
I briefly want to share. I Googled, can you malt a potato? I'm not looking at the AI nonsense that comes at the top, but the top hit
we're
is
clicking web results here.
Malting potatoes, and the first sentence it gives me is, all you have to do is use less water or more potatoes.
Hey.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Right. This whole thing is gross to me now. I don't like it anymore.
Well,
you don't like processing food?
Thank God.
I don't like the idea of tricking the vegetable into like kind of growing a little bit and then being like, gotcha, and taking it out of the thing. It seems manipulative. It seems like a crime, sort of, to me.
So it's almost like instead of it being like we've raised this crop and then we've threshed it at its most mature point, like it had a chance to run its course. It's more like the baby version of the crop.
I was going to say
more upsetting.
Yeah,
it's
veal. The veal of grains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, interestingly enough, is what the AI summary
Oh, okay. Good.
says when you ask it what malt is. It says it's the veal of grains, and then it tells you how to make a 25-part outline about it. Anyhow, our two remaining contenders are number 4, malt liquor, against number 2, malt balls. I see heads nodding. I see beards being scratched. I see earnest expressions of deliberation. I see ironic expressions of deliberation. We are running the gamut to run for the GMAT. Who would like to step up and cast an initial vote and frame this entire debate, a powerful position.
Wow.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank God.
They're both gross. Malt liquor is gross. Malt balls are gross. I've come out as anti-malt now that I understand what we're talking
believe
about.
Lars and
Wow,
I
this
agree
is
on
an
something.
epic twist for the
twist.
GMAT.
But here's the thing.
We've gone to GMAT nihilism.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, here's the greatest malt. Here's what's going on. If you drink malt liquor, it'll get you drunk. If you eat malt balls, it won't. I guess I gotta go with malt liquor then, right? Like you can do something with a malt liquor. Malt balls you could maybe drop into a milkshake to make it a malted milkshake, but I feel that's not in the spirit of the competition, and I just can't consider that, given that malted milkshake has already been eliminated. My vote is for malt liquor. Thank you. Good night.
Like all the most compelling arguments, I can barely remember a time before I heard it. 1 vote to none. Malt liquor jumps into an early lead over malt balls.
I think in all our previous March Madnesses, Lars and I have always been, by the end, the exact opposite of each other. Perhaps if only to annoy each other, who knows?
Who can say?
Mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned.
And I'm shocked that for once, everything that came out of his mouth, I agree with. I stand in the
Wow.
exact same position that Lars stands on about malt liquor versus malt balls. At least malt liquor will get
Interesting.
you drunk. It's 2 votes for malt liquor, baby.
All right.
All
I'm
right.
gonna come in with a hot take here, just in case malt liquor's about to sweep this. Malt liquor has made me feel really bad in my life.
That's so true.
Yes.
That's
Malt
so
balls
relatable.
have never made me feel really bad. And I also love a malt ball. I'm giving it to malt balls.
All right. So
Zoe's
two,
been on Team Malt Ball from day one, as far as
yeah.
I'm concerned.
I find it charming.
It's a consistency, you know?
she has and has been a big part of what has brought malt balls to the finals. 2 quick votes in rapid succession on opposite sides of the big question bring the tally to 2-1 in favor of malt liquor with only 2 votes left to be cast. Armat looks almost pained by the gravity of the
The weight.
responsibility
Yep. Mhm.
that clatters to his feet.
Yeah. Heavy is the head, my friends.
that sips the malt liquor. I think the drunkenness caused by malt liquor I disliked less than the
Oh.
disappointment engendered by the malt ball whoppers in my Halloween candy.
Okay.
Malt
okay.
liquor.
It's a different delta you're looking at.
Wow.
Exactly. And
That was almost like a quintuple negative or something. I'm still
Yes.
I'm being
It paled in comparison to the disappointment he felt upon receiving no malt balls
yeah.
in his non-Halloween candy.
I honestly wait, what was it a vote for?
malt liquor.
Okay.
Fair.
He's less disappointed by malt liquor than he is by malt balls.
Thank
baby,
you.
you
Robin.
get-
Yes.
I got out of
You get the freedom here to vote your heart. It's not going to change the outcome.
I've never been more relieved. And our exercise concludes in a 4 votes to 1 victory
Wow.
for malt liquor. I am not a huge malt balls guy. I'm also not a huge malt liquor guy, but I am a bigger malt liquor guy than I am a malt balls guy. I would never duct tape malt balls to my hands until I finish them.
It's
Edward 40 balls.
Trying to like
Nobody
choose
was
them
there.
out from under the tape.
It's kind of sad that like the biggest fan of malt balls here is the one person who cannot eat them. Is it just that
Yep.
you love the forbidden nature of it, Zoe?
I don't think that's it at all.
Interesting. I'm going to answer that question with a non-response.
Mm.
David, thank you so much for Malt Madness, an incredible season we've seen, an incredible tournament, just incredible work also done by the organizing the tournament, getting all of the malts involved and all of that. Hey, round of applause for David.
Golf clap.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, David.
Lars, I
The-
have 115 acknowledgments I'd like to read.
Okay. All right. because it's like close to episode 190, we're almost at a 5. I was going to do it last time, but we ran long, so we're doing it now. I just want to talk about a few things that are happening with us, just promoting some stuff. First off, on our Patreon, we have just launched a brand new actual play series in which we are playing Pathfinder 2nd edition on our Patreon. If you want to hear that, it's coming out bi-weekly. It is called... It's called The Band of Gold. This is a campaign where we're playing through Pathfinder Society Season 6. The idea of the show is that there's a rotating cast of heroes, maybe even a rotating GM seat sometimes. The first episode of the first scenario is up now on YouTube, so you can watch the entire first episode if you'd like to. You can find the rest of the scenario on our Patreon. You can get to our Patreon by going to patreon.com/tabletopgold, $5 for audio, $10 for video. Support our show. We are an independent group putting this thing together for your enjoyment. So if you like what we're doing, please support what we're doing. And you can hear this brand new series at the same time. The other thing I want to mention is that next week, if you tune in to our premiere party, Sunday, March 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, youtube.com/@tabletopgold, we will be giving away a copy of the brand new NPC core book. This is a new super cool creature book for Pathfinder 2nd edition. And all you got to do to win a copy or to get the chance to win a copy is be there for our premiere watch party. Keep an eye on chat. I will post a link to enter the giveaway and I'll email the winner when the watch party ends. So you can win. You can be a winner. All you got to do is tune in live. And that's what we've got going on right now. That's what I want to mention at the moment.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Sweet. Great stuff. And you know what else is going to be great is our game, which we're going to get into right now.
Let's do this.
According to your recent consultation with the stars, 4 lenses, each containing a small sliver of the elder god Nimbleoth, had been in the custody of the Haravex family for ages before their bloody rituals were recognized and they were exiled from Absalom and Galarian society. Over the ensuing years, Belcora Haravex recovered all 4 of the lenses and made them the central component of her plan to build Gauntlet and wreak apocalyptic revenge on the city that cast her family out. With one of the lenses now in your possession, you've returned to the 9th floor of Belcora's sprawling dungeons and have set upon the task of exploring a lake. The depths of this lake, you understand, hold another lens, and a treasure vault overlooking the lake may hold information that could be the key to understanding the lens's true essence. But before you can head to the lake, it's time to prepare. So, Mag just presented this. Let's like recap the very last thing that happened. Mag produced a scale from Ravarex the Black Dragon. I feel like we need to do a whole other recap to explain what that's all about.
Agreed.
For people who are just jumping in. But essentially, Mag had been tormented her entire like teenage life at least by this black dragon. You managed to track it down, save your friend Mark from the dragon. Mag retrieved a scale from this black dragon and is using it, has presented it to this blacksmith here in Ildaris, where you are, as like a modification for her weapon. We're picking this scene up in the depths of Ildaris, the Drow settlement, down here on the 9th floor of the Abomination vaults. There are a number, 2 or 3 blacksmiths standing around this great forge at the center of this like great hall. And this blacksmith has just said to you, I think I know exactly what to do with this. So I don't know. How do we want to get into this? Do we want to reveal this in scene, what it is that we're doing? Do we want to talk about this? Like, what do we, how much more detail do we want to throw in at this moment, do you think, David?
Why don't we just say what it is?
Yeah, let's do it.
This scale of Ravarexes is going to be converted by the blacksmith into a corrosive rune.
Awesome.
Ooh, tell me more.
It is a property rune that you attach to a weapon that adds 1d6 acid damage to strikes from the weapon, and more on a critical. I don't remember how much.
It does damage to the armor on a critical. The
That's
acid
right.
eats away armor, which is going to keep me on my toes because I kind of know how to do that. And hopefully by the time it comes in to be relevant, I will fully know how to do that.
Sure.
It's definitely. I GM'd another game where there was a corrosive rune involved, and it definitely there was. I did something to make it make sense. But
Well,
there
that only happens on a crit.
Yeah. And it's cool. Like you can burn people's armor away, which can be a game changer against certain sorts of enemies. But just the idea of mags, you returned to Ravarex's den in a past session. Mag retrieved this, and now some of Ravarex's power is mags.
Yes.
Cool.
A great reclamation of the magic and the power, in addition to the spiritual space that Mag is now enjoying. And the other thing I wanted to say about this before we move along and get into a chance to possibly use this thing, is that I feel like the way that you brought us into the attachment of this rune in the role play at the end of the last episode was incredibly similar to the actual conversation that you, Lars, and I, David, had about this.
Okay.
Where I was like, "Hey, I want to have a piece of Ravarex and make it into a mechanical thing." And I had done all of this poking around on Nethys for all these completely harebrained ideas about what that could be. And I was like, I don't think any of these things make sense. And you were basically like, let me think about that. And then a second later, you were like, what if you just made it into a corrosive rune on the weapon? It's basically exactly what the blacksmith just did to Mag, where I wandered up to you with a dragon scale and was like, could this give me some sort of mechanical advantage? And you were like, yeah, I think I know what to do with that.
Yeah. And that's what I talk like in real life, too.
Yes, people don't realize that you put on such a different
I do Christian
persona
Bale
for the
Batman
show.
voice, basically, just in my real life.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks.
Dragon rune.
Thanks for the guidance, and it'll be fun to have a little reminder of this bit of Mag's past every time that we get into combat from now on.
Another thing that's happening, we talked about this off camera. AO is going to be added. No, we talked about this on camera. We did a roll off that ultimately wound up not mattering, which was great. AO is getting a +2 potency rune transferred from a mace that you found in Ravarex's den to her bow, Chompers. So we got a +2 potency rune hitting Chompers, which is going to be great. And we're also adding some property runes there. Zoe, do you want to talk about what we're adding, or do we want to see it in scene? What do you think?
Let's talk about it, because we all know that I'm not great at using the things that you give me, and so people might as well know what it is they're missing, right?
I think that this one is gonna just work automatically, so I'm not too terribly worried.
That's great. It's almost like you figured out my weaknesses and catered to them, and I appreciate that.
That's what the game is, to be honest with you.
That's right. Supporting weak characters from episode 1.
Okay, that's not what I was saying.
Okay, so this +2 potency rune, we've added a vitalizing rune and a ghost touch rune.
So going after undead, going after incorporeal undead in particular, I think it makes a lot of sense. Rogues usually have, it's a weakness of rogues to go after incorporeal creatures, so this is going to help AO out a lot on that front.
Only so many times Trill can cast Ghost Touch, so.
Yeah.
Not everyone's in range.
Let's touch some ghosts, am I right?
Let's touch some ghosts. Reach out and touch ghosts.
Reach out.
So it's going to take the blacksmiths of Ildaris a day's work to get this done. So you're looking at an evening of adventuring today, unless you'd like to wait until tomorrow. While you're considering that, I just want to mention that Trill has time while the blacksmiths are working. If she wants to redo her gnome obsession lore during that time, since she's currently obsessed with dragons.
Oh, yeah.
And has very, very good dragon lore.
doesn't need dragon lore anymore.
Trill could use the day to retrain that, given that you've dealt with this dragon.
Yeah, she's absolutely going to do that. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I definitely thought about it beforehand, and what I should have Trill retrain
This
to.
is definitely something that came up in our preparation, and not something that I just sprung on you
Absolutely.
at the last second, right on microphone.
I had foresight and was thinking about what would
here's what I'll say.
be important.
This might be a good time for me to recap all of Malt Madness.
Okay.
Malted
In week
barley.
1.
Are we going to recap all the recaps that came along the way? Or are we going to?
I began by recapping.
Okay, good. And just keep in mind that lore can be literally like anything. You can make up anything, any kind of lore you want to. That can be a lore that you get.
Underground lake lore?
Yes, totally.
Fantastic.
You could do a subterranean lake lore. Of
Or
course
maybe
you could.
just Darklands lore, I guess. That makes sense.
Oh, that's a good call.
That feels nice in general.
So there's a thing in this game of there being like general lores and specific lores. So that Darklands lore, I think, would be a general lore applying to any of the like natural creatures or the residents of the Darklands that you run into. I think you'd miss out on some more specific, like lower DCs, but it would be broadly useful against
Maybe,
like lots
or
and
more
lots of things that you
specifically, Darklands hunt. Like if I more specific to the hunting grounds.
find. Yeah, that's fine.
That's still not quite
fine.
specific enough, I'm guessing.
No, it's good, and it makes sense that would be something you could research here in Eldaris, of course. Doing
Perfect.
a little hunting grounds lore. Why not? I love it.
There we go.
Okay, so what do you all think? Ao has been pushing to advance towards this lake very aggressively. Would you want to spend the night here before going out, or are you ready to push out in the evening?
Push on, baby. Let's go.
Okay.
Sounds good. And I have a question. Are you reinvested? Is Ao reinvested in this crimson lens at this point? Is she once more feeling ornery and rageful and angry, or is she holding off on that for now?
We were told that the mysteries of the lens would be solved at the lake, right?
Yeah, at this treasure vault looking over the lake, but
Yeah,
also there is
I
a
think
lens
she
in
is-
the lake.
Not reinvested, not out of a desire to not have these lenses be inappropriately controlling over her, but because she sort of imagines that like there may be more of these lenses. Like she wants to leave herself available to harness the power of other lenses should they appear. So maybe it's tucked in a pocket or something, but she's not invested.
Got it.
Maybe she also like got in a shouting match with the person who was going to attach the rune because she was invested earlier in the day, but like it made the whole thing go slower and someone told her to like put it in her pocket and chill or whatever.
We'll call that someone Mag.
Yeah.
So what that means is by the time you're heading out, it's taken about 8 hours. The blacksmiths of Eldaris call you in and offer you these newly modified weapons. Trill now has this new knowledge about the area. It's right around 7 o'clock at night, and the blacksmiths hand you this new Earthbreaker and this new bow and say, "It has been an honor working on these. We hope that you're able to use them to their new effectiveness." Then he runs his hand across his brow and takes like a big bite of a turkey leg. And it's really attractive.
I'll have what he's having, am I right? No, nobody gets with.
Yeah, Mag picks up a turkey bone from the plate and places it on the anvil, and then very, very, very gently brings the pointed, piercing end of the Earthbreaker down on the turkey leg and watches as it dissolves.
Cool.
That was
Yes.
awesome.
That looks delicious.
It's ceviche, technically.
Gross.
So are we heading out to this lake then?
We gotta.
Sounds
Let's do
like
it.
I'm pretty hyped for this lake.
Yeah.
Me too.
We got we even
Yep.
have a little like miniature boat that will grow.
Yeah, bow talisman.
So what you have is something called a marvelous miniature boat.
Yes.
It is a small replica of a real object. When you toss it into a large body of water, such as a lake or a broad river, it transforms into a cutter. The cutter lasts for a day, so it'll last until 7 p.m. tomorrow. A cutter is 30 feet long, 15 feet wide.
What's the wind like down here? A cutter has sails.
Well, if you had trained sailing lore, you could use it to pilot this ship. I could have told you that, of course. I didn't.
Damn it, Lars.
Lars, remind me
go
what it's called the Marvelous Miniature Ship?
Yeah, the Marvelous Miniature
Marvelous
boat.
Mrs. Miniship.
Yep.
It has there's a famous jingle around Otari that they use to sell these. Can you remind me what that is?
Oh, yeah, sure. Reach in
Thank
your
you, Zoe.
pocket. What do you got? You throw it in the water and you got you a yacht. It's the Marvelous Miniature Ship.
Woo!
Boop,
There
boop.
it is. That's
Wait,
it. Yes.
sorry, it ends toot toot. It doesn't end
Toot,
boop.
that
boop.
was
That's right.
frustratingly
That's right.
good.
Yeah. That's why you ask.
Yep. That's right. Thank you, Zoe.
You're welcome.
This is the thing where I like pass Zoe $50 because we had that prepared ahead of
Right,
time.
right.
This is,
So you just
Wanky
spiked that volleyball over the net.
So you work your way out of Ildaris to up through these like fungal outgrowths at the southern reaches of the hunting grounds, and we're gonna pick things up near that boathouse where you fought that devourer Beluthus, this like weirdo like Children of Belcora guy who had the like souls in his chest, if you recall that
so
dude.
Cool.
So we're gonna start things off around there. That's kind of like the point of ingress into the lake. There are a couple different options that you have here for moving forward. Just let me know what you want to do. But essentially, there's a shore here as the floor of this cavern dips down below the surface of the water, or there are docks leading off of this boathouse. What are you guys gonna do?
Well, let's go to the shore. And what are we able to see of this lake if we stand on the shore?
Yeah, you stand on the shore of the lake and you look out, getting a sense of what you're able to see with your magical light that is illuminating the area. You gaze out into this dark lake. The water is murky, hard to see into. There's a sort of ominous sensibility to the lake itself. Your light is able to reach to a far shore of the lake, reaching past a number of natural pillars that extend down from the ceiling of the cavern about 60 feet above you into the lake itself. Looking past that, you can see a shore on the far northwestern edge of the lake where there are green glowing crystals that you can just barely make out in the far distance, in some sort of growth. You're not sure from here whether it's plant life that just looks crystallized. You don't know if it's rocks that have some sort of enchantment, if it's a natural phenomenon, but you do see green glowing crystals dotted on a small island or a small shore on the far reaches of the lake.
What do you guys think?
Maybe we could float up and look at the crystals, you think? Maybe? I mean, they could have arcane powers. I don't know what kind, but...
What's the range on Mage Hand? 60 feet?
60 feet, yeah.
60 feet. All right. Can't do much from here.
And maybe Trill has the Ruby of Lange, right?
It's in the bag of holding.
So Trill could also, if we go out into the lake, she could use the Ruby of Lange to try and locate the lens.
Oh, that's such a good call.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
That
Right.
is true. So you get to pick between a specific object or it's a type of object. So if you just have it look for one of these lenses, it would ping the nearest.
Yeah.
You need to have an accurate mental image of the type of object. You certainly have that.
Because we have one, so it was just like when we were looking
Yeah.
for the other
So
stuff.
when we run it the first time, it's going to obviously turn up the one in this. If it's still in the lake, it'll turn up this one. But then when we're done with that one, we could run the thing again, and we'd be able to trace our way toward the others.
Yeah, just need a day between them. You can only use the ruby once a day.
I'm glad we're getting started in the evening then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's how it works.
Ah.
Well, let's get the dock, put the boat in, and then we can decide if we want to use the ruby once we're a little further out into the water.
Works for me.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so the four of you move through this boathouse. You walk past this. This is an abandoned boathouse that has another option for a boat hanging from the ceiling of this boathouse. There's like a rowboat hanging on chains. So if you wind up needing another boat aside from your marvelous miniature boat, you've got that option there. And you walk out onto this dock, and you feel the sort of spongy texture of this waterlogged wood beneath your feet. You see this murky water sort of slowly rolling beneath the dock. And what happens next?
What was the jingle again?
If you got a boat and you want to eat, what is the jingle for again? Sorry, I don't even remember the bit.
For the marvelous miniature boat.
The marvelous miniature boat.
It was pocket and yacht. Anyways, we take it from our pockets and we make a yacht. Is my point.
Okay, you're doing so. Yeah. Okay, so you throw this marvelous
Whoa,
miniature boat.
We have a chariot.
And we have an item that I don't have art for, so it appears in our VTT as Mr. Game & Watch from Super Smash Brothers driving a chariot. So that's what's up. That's what time it is.
I like it.
So this you pull out this boat and this little tiny miniature boat and you throw it into the water. As soon as it hits the water, there's a puff of smoke, and as the smoke clears, you see that you are looking on a beautiful 30-foot-long cutter. What do you do?
Hop on, baby.
Yeah, Ao jumps in.
Mag jumps in the water and does like a very brief swim around it. She's just curious about it.
How's the water, Mag?
How's the water, Lars?
The water is cold. Mag can barely see her feet down below her. It's still water that it is trivially easy for Mag to swim in.
It's cold.
Nice.
It's hard to see, but it's trivially easy to swim in.
Oh, nice. If I didn't have my armor on, I'd join you.
As Mag swims along the edge of the boat, she feels something brush up against her leg.
Does it feel like an alive thing, or like does it feel solid or soft? Is it moving or floating? Give me more.
Something alive brushing past her leg very quickly.
Slithery?
Maybe a little bit slithery.
Is it an underwater ghoul? They have those, you know.
We don't see any water rippling with movement.
You start to look into the water, reacting to Mag's reaction, and as you gaze into the water, what do you say? We roll for initiative.
Oh,
Back in the water.
Oh, snap.
Roll for initiative.
I think we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Okay, so as three of you climb on the boat, Mag starts swimming through the water. Something brushes past you. I would love to get a sense of what everybody has rolled for initiative, starting with Zoe.
23 for Ao.
Okay. How did Isthan do on this?
18 on the die for a 33, so pretty good.
Okie dokie, pretty good. It makes sense that you would throw a boat into this lake and something would react to it. You're entering the water for the first time. How is Trill doing on this? And would Trill like to battle cry? You can't see it. Well, can Trill see anything?
Yeah, Trill can't.
Tell you that
Trill got a 35, so I think she notices that something is up.
Yeah,
but I don't think she's seen anything, so she can't battle cry.
Well, I have some combatants here doing a stealth initiative. If I know what your perception DC is, it's 26. Okay, so all of you are able to see as Mag is sort of searching around in the water, trying to figure out what it is that may have brushed up against her leg. You see that there is a large, like, aquatic, nightmarish-looking fish swimming below the surface of the water that seems like it has evolved to survive here in the lightless waterways of the Underdark. It's like 10 feet long, and it's about 10 feet below the surface of the water, and it is just sort of roiling around, getting ready, like looking like it's about to whip around to take another pass at Mag or at the boat or both.
It's beautiful.
It has like blade-like teeth in its mouth, and it is heading towards you. So that is something that all of you are able to see. So would you like to do a battle cry?
If Trill sees that now, I guess, why not? Never hurts to
Okay.
do it. It's a free knowledge check, essentially.
Yes.
With a shitty roll. That was only a 24.
Okay. And you don't get the sense that this creature understands any language that you speak, so like even then you're not sure like if you would have been able to frighten them to begin with. David, how did Mag do on her initiative?
It's 23, same as Ao.
Okay. So Mag is able to rage as these creatures are, or at least one of these creatures is swimming around towards you. And here we go. It's the beginning of round 1, and just as you realize that there is something here in the water, another one of these fish bursts out from the water, leaping, water trailing off of its back. You see these strange tendrilled fins on its side, leaps onto the boat, just jettisoning itself out of the water,
Wow.
leaps out of the boat, and
What
is
a
going to
sassy
target
monkey.
either Istin or Ao with an attack.
Jeez, this really is like
Istin is a 1, Ao is a 2. I just tossed a coin. So it leaps out of the water to
Really is
ambush Ao. Ao is going to be off
that-
guard against this attack.
Sorry, does that trigger a reactive strike?
I don't think anybody has, I don't think you have reactions in this first round.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally fair.
This fish creature jumps up into the air, lands on the far side of Ao, and bashes at her with its enormous snout. Here comes a strike against Ao. That is a 35 to hit against Ao's off-guard DC.
Ooh, that is a critical hit because she is off guard. That's a bummer.
So Ao's going to take 36 points of damage,
Ow. Ouch.
and Ao is going to Ao feels herself getting shoved by this snout. It's trying to push her into the water. So that is a 29 to shove Ao.
My fortitude DC, that succeeds.
Okay.
I'm
So
not
Ao
very
gets
fortitudinous.
Ao gets shoved about 5 feet towards the edge of the boat. She feels the the boat dip under, closer to the water as she's being shoved forward by this fish creature, and then the fish after nudging her forward goes ha and chomps onto her with a jaws strike.
Very rude.
That is a 25. Sorry, that is an 18 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay. Then this fish creature is going to jump
hasn't
back
it moved like
into
11
the water.
times?
Yeah, this first thing that it did is a single action to move really fast and attack.
Wow.
Oh.
It is now Trill's turn as Trill sees this fish jump onto the boat, chomp at, nudge Ao, and then jump back into the water. What is Trill going to do?
Huh. Well, that was weird. Trill's going to do what she do at the beginning of a battle. So let's go ahead and lingering comp that courageous anthem for everyone.
Thank you.
And that was a really bad roll. That was only a 23, so we just got one round of it.
Okay, but you don't spend a focus
No,
point.
don't send a focus point. It's better than nothing. They're in the water, so electricity's not going to work.
That's not how that works.
Oh, no, it's acid. No, it's fire that doesn't work.
Fire and acid.
It's fire
yeah.
and acid. That's what it is. So Trill's going to go ahead and do electric arc.
So Trill sends jolts of electricity off both sides of this cutter that you've just manifested moments earlier.
So they've got a DC 27 reflex save against 16 points of damage.
Okay. So the one that's underwater, a short distance away, and the one that just attacked Ao, both of them get 38s on their saves.
They both rolled 20s. What?
They both rolled 20s.
Whoa.
Is
Look,
that
if
how
he's
that
going to
works?
roll 20s, better now than later.
And that's how
That's
it works.
fair.
I'm using them
Yeah.
up. That's
That's fair.
It's a resource that I'm depleting. I'm definitely not just going to roll 20s all day long. I didn't install the only roll 20s module on our server.
Oh, we have one of those, dude.
I have one of them. Yeah.
Oh,
That's why he doesn't let us get into the back end of stuff.
So is that it for Trill's
And that's
turn?
Trill's turn, yeah.
Okay, so Trill casts electricity into the water. These two enormous fish dart out of the way, and it is now Isthen's turn.
I think Isthen is just going to follow up and shout, "Good thinking, Trill! I think we're going to need a bigger boat." And then he's going to electric arc.
How many times?
I think we're going to need less. I think we're going to need a bigger boat.
That makes sense. DC 27 reflex save for these two fine fishy fellows.
Okay, so both of the fish try to jump out of the way, swimming in this murky water to dodge out of the way of this electricity. One of them gets a 30, the other one gets a 22.
Okay, that's a success and a failure, so half damage, 14 for the success and 14 for the other guy. And then Isthen is going to start doing the arcane breathing techniques he uses to drop into his arcane cascade stance. And that's him.
Okay, Mag, in the water, felt these fish a moment ago. One of these fish brushed by her leg. And as she tries to get a sense of what's going on, already her friends are casting spells, getting attacked, getting pushed around. It is bedlam. It is chaos. But Mag is still in the water. What's Mag going to do?
I was going to try to get into a position where I can make this thing off guard. Let's see if that's going to happen. Not cool. I guess if I got around to here, would I be flanking with Isthen?
No, you're too far away from Isthen. The Isthen is too far away. Like, Isthen has a reach of 10 feet, and he's currently at least 15 feet from
He's
this.
15 feet away. Okay. All right. Then I am just going to swim up to the thing on the near side, keep myself between it and the boat and the rest of the party.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try and do a slam down.
So you can't knock things prone when they're in the water?
And there's no such thing as tripping anyway, just for its being sort of generally off balance and therefore
Not in the water, yeah.
off guard to AO. Okay. Then I will just attack it and see what happens. We'll take it from there. I want to do piercing damage to it.
Okay.
Fish fillet, am I right?
So versatile P.
In order to reach it, you're going to have to, because it's 10 feet underwater, you're going to have to swim 5 feet underwater yourself.
Yeah, sure. And then we'll see what happens after that. Because I have underwater marauder feet, I am not off guard while making this strike, which is nice. Ow! It's a 30 to hit.
That is absolutely going to hit, yes.
All right.
You swim down into the water, and you wallop this creature.
All right, that is 30 damage.
Okay, and that 30 damage is because you have this new corrosive rune, a 22 piercing damage, 1 acid damage, and 7 spirit damage. I will tell you, we mentioned before that we didn't want to reveal what the corrosive rune was in combat because it might be an anticlimax.
Yeah, and it's because the
guess what
acid
it
damage
is.
doesn't happen in the water.
Yeah, and also, yes, exactly.
Fizzle, fizzle, bizzle.
So that's still 29 points of damage.
Yeah.
And Mag has one more action.
I'm 5 feet under the water. Do I need to swim up for air? Or as long as, I guess I have breath control, so I can be down there forever anyway.
Yeah, you because you have breath control, you have a number of rounds equal to like 400 rounds of breath if you want them.
Yeah. I will stay down under the water then.
Okay.
What the heck? I'm going to try and grab it. I don't know.
Cool.
It's been a
I like
while
it.
since I grabbed something and I'm underwater with a big old...
Slippery fish.
So in order to do that,
Big
you're
ol'
going to
fish.
need to drop your earth.
Never mind.
Or you're going to need to, for a free hand, remove a hand from the Earthbreaker that you will then need to spend an action to re-grab the Earthbreaker.
Yeah, or I'll have to make one-handed strikes. That's cool. I don't know.
Which the Earthbreaker doesn't do.
I can't do one-handed strikes. I can only do two-handed strikes with the Earthbreaker.
I think so. Maybe that's wrong. Let me look at it.
I think that I want to get the answer. I think you can do either 2 or 1 with the Earthbreaker.
I think you are correct. You are correct.
Yeah. Because I've grabbed things and still walloped them with the hammer before. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to try and grab this thing, and then next turn, if I'm successful, I can start wailing on it. Pun very much intended.
Yep.
Whales
We're
are
gonna need a
actually
bigger boat.
mammals.
Oh, that's interesting. I like
Call
that.
me
That's Jaws, right?
Daniel.
It is Jaws, yes.
Yeah. Okay, here is an athletics check to grab. It's a 2 on the die for a 22. Suspect that's not going to work.
22 versus its Fortitude DC.
Oh, and
not
it's a map. It's a map of -5, right?
Oh.
So it's only a 17.
Okay. So that is a critical failure,
It grabs
Ooh.
me.
which means that it grabs you.
Ooh.
So you attempted
Excellent.
a critical failure. If you already the target can either grab you. Yeah, you reach out to try to grab this creature, and it clamps its mouth down around you, and Mag is now grabbed.
Boo.
Yikes!
Yeah, that's not good.
Not good. Oh,
Sorry,
well,
guys.
Mag has
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
It was worth a shot.
So Ao sees Mag slip into the water, pelt this creature one time with the Earthbreaker, and then get grabbed in its mouth. What is Ao going to do?
Ao is gonna recall knowledge on one of these beasts to see what she can learn about it.
Sure,
'Cause
give me
yeah.
occultism.
'Kay.
Blind.
You got it.
I got it. Okay. Can you ask me a question about this creature?
Weakest safe.
Okay. So this is a creature known as a deep water Dutherex. They are dumb, hungry beasts that chase prey through the depths and will even climb onto land to pursue prey as well. You get the sense that you are in for these are incredibly aggressive creatures, and they will chase you anywhere you go.
Okay.
Weakest save is will save. They are dumb. They're not that smart. So will save is what you want to target.
Okay.
Love it.
Can you do spells through the water?
Yes, if you can see the thing you're casting the spell in, yes, for sure.
Great. And I can see them both, yeah?
You can.
All right. Ao is going to target the one that has grabbed Mag with command.
Okay, so command as a spell has the linguistics trait, which means that the creature needs to be able to understand your language in order to follow the direction you give them.
But they are dumb.
And they are fish.
Dumb fish.
You're acting like I don't speak dumb fish? Is that
Do you
what's
speak
happening?
fish?
Whoa.
Zoe, I'm going to give you a recall knowledge. I'm going to give you a recall knowledge for free. They have no languages listed on their stat block.
Okay.
They are they are a fish. Is what I'm
speak
trying to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they don't speak undercommon.
All right. What about roaring applause?
I don't know. Let's take a look at the roaring applause rules,
Does
shall
that have
we?
a
Let's take a gander.
Mental trait?
It does have the mental trait, but it does not have the linguistics trait. So these creatures seem to have minds, but they don't speak any language. So that's potentially a safer option.
All right, this thing's grabbed Mag. Let's do some roaring applause. I was debating between that and Daze, but Daze isn't that exciting. Let's do roaring applause.
It's true. Daze does suck. So, okay, roaring applause. Sounds good.
So you need to make a will save.
Okay,
Please
I'm
do.
going to make. I'm going
don't
to
roll
make.
a 20, okay?
Okay. What if I roll a 4 and get a 21?
That's better because that's a failure. And you're gonna go ahead and start applauding. Your little fish flappies, I guess, are.
This is such a great move. I'm going to give you a hero point card for this.
Hey, look at that.
Slowing the creature that has Mag grabbed and forcing it to applause. So, targets of the spell must be, there's a thing here, targets of the spell must be able to see, hear, or otherwise understand you. What do we think the phrase or otherwise, let's just say because we've already done this, that it works. They can see
It's an or, not an and.
It's an or.
Yeah.
I agree. It doesn't have the linguistics trait. It just says mental, emotion, enchantment. They can see you. So I think they can applaud.
You are just and fair.
Great. So, okay, so they become slowed 1 as they start to applaud for you, this fish. It
Yep.
seems ridiculous, but, that's just what this game is sometimes.
That's the fun of roaring applause. Do you ever use roaring applause and you're like, this is super serious? And
Yeah, that's
doesn't
such a good
take this in
point,
a comedic
honestly.
turn at all.
So, Ao, that's 3 actions.
There it is.
Slowed and applauding. That's great. So at the beginning of this creature's turn, it's now this creature's turn. This fish that is grabbing a hold of Mag starts applauding. That is going to trigger a reactive strike for Mag.
Yes. May I hit it?
Please. With a one-handed piercing Earthbreaker strike.
Ooh, more crappy dice. Only a 25 to hit.
Okay, so that misses.
Yeah, definitely.
This creature is slowed because they're applauding, but that doesn't mean that they can't attempt to swallow Mag whole.
This is one of my things.
This is one of your
You do
things.
get swallowed whole on occasion.
So this is going to be an athletics check versus Mag's reflex DC, which is a 25. So here comes an athletics check versus a 25. 2 on the die, a 22.
That fails.
Whew.
That's huge.
It is
Real
very
glad-
nice not to be inside that thing.
Real glad
That
Mag's
is
not swallowed.
super huge.
A strong preference for that.
So the question is now, is this creature going to try that again or see that Mag is hard to swallow and just try to hurt her? Or is it going to try to re-up this grab? I think it's just going to try to hurt her. So here comes a Jaws strike as it just it's grabbing a hold of Mag with its jaws and it goes whoosh, and tries to chomp her again. This is a map 5 Jaws strike. 27 to hit.
27 does hit, yes.
Okay. So Mag gets chomped for 22 points of piercing damage. And because it didn't re-up the grab because it was slowed, Mag at the end of its turn is now no longer grabbed.
Yes.
It is now the beginning of round 2. And this combat against these 2 fish is nasty. Mag is in the water, being grabbed, attempting to be swallowed by this creature. The 3 of the rest of you are up on the boat trying to use magic to attack these creatures. That big strike hasn't come through yet, but the one that Mag is face to face with 5 feet or 10 feet underneath the water is slowed by some of Ao's magic. It's the beginning of round 2. And the fish to the far northern side is going to climb up onto the boat, and it looks at both Ao and Trill. I'm going to toss a coin to see who it is that is striking. 1 is Ao, 2 is Trill. That's 2. That's Trill.
No, I'm too little.
You're just little enough.
Tasty
I think
little
we're gonna
morsel.
need a bigger gnome.
Okay, here we go. Jaw strike against Trill as Trill
That one
sees this mouth open up, clamp into her for 24 to hit.
That does not hit.
And it's going to do that again. This time it is a 1 on the die.
A fumble card because you fumbled hard.
I have
Very good.
3 cards in this stack of spades. Let's see if this is the ace. It
It's
is
the
the ace. So what that means is that as this creature tries to strike out towards Trill, it accidentally strikes itself. It slips and it's on this boat. It's slippery. It tries to lunge towards Trill. It lunges forward, loses its grip on the boat, and then knocks itself into the floor of the boat and bites, like sends some of its teeth into the soft palate at the top of its
I
mouth.
hate when you
Ouch.
bite your cheek. Oh, that's the worst.
So this is 21 points of
Yep, that's
damage
about right for biting your cheek.
to this creature itself.
I think you get persistent bleed damage there too, right? Because when you bite your cheek, you're just gonna keep.
Yeah,
So
and then it
it feels that
becomes a
way.
canker sore. Yeah.
I get 1 point of persistent bleed damage, I think, based on my experience of just
Flavor
enough for me to taste it for the rest of my life.
Trill's
Yep.
just like, yeah, come on, try it. That's what you get.
As Trill shouts that, it is now her turn. She is on the boat. There is the gaping maw of this deep water Deuterex is right in front of her as she stands next to Ao on this boat that is tipping back and forth in the still waters of this subterranean lake. What is Trill going to do?
Well, let's try and get a better roll on lingering fortissimo. Let's try that again. Because she kind of needs that. That's a 30. So we get 3 rounds. Great. That should last.
Give me 1 second, please. Okay, keep on going.
And I think, trying to decide, I think the one that Mag is dealing with is slowed.
Correct.
So Trill's gonna go after the one that just attacked her.
Okay.
And she's gonna go ahead and cast 3rd rank Paralyze.
Okay. As you start to cast a spell, this creature seizes the opportunity to strike out at you. That is a 40 to hit.
That's a critical.
Ooh.
Okay, so Trill is going to take.
Oh, wait. Oh no,
What's
never
up?
mind. I have attacked it already. Never mind.
Trill is going to take 54 points of piercing damage,
Jesus.
and Trill loses the spell.
Wow.
That's a
Well,
bummer.
Because I critically hit
Yeah.
you on a
No, that
manipulate
totally
action,
makes
you
sense.
lost it. So Trill starts to cast a spell. This thing goes, "Gursh!" and Trill loses it, and the spell slot is gone.
and Trill's hurting. Trill flavor goes down to 1 knee, and that's her turn.
Istin,
So they have a reactive strike.
they do.
They appear to have a
Seems
reaction.
That's
They
good to know.
appear to have it.
So, they got a fish training camp down there. It's really putting out.
Yeah, they're in the fish army.
Yeah.
Water gugs.
Fucking fish. See, this is why I'm not fully vegetarian. I will eat these fuckers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fair.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Well,
bet they're delicious. So Istin is in the middle of to his south. Here's Mag getting attacked underwater. To his north, this thing is on the boat. The boat is tipping to the northern side. What is Istin going to do?
well, seeing that the fish has been Deuterex, did I say that right?
Yes.
Seeing that the Deuterex is going after his compadres, Istin is going to use their bad will score by casting Draw Ire, so that the fish
I love
focuses
that
on
you're doing
him.
that.
Gallant.
And
Gallant.
this is against the Deuterex on the boat,
Yes,
right?
please.
Gnashing in the air, chomping at Trill, trying to eat her, and now you're trying to draw its attention. That is a 23 on its save.
That is a failure. So
Okay.
it will now take a -1 on any attacks that are not at Istin.
And I take some damage, don't I?
You do, actually. For a mental damage. It's not a damage dealing spell. And it's within my reach right now. Is that correct?
It is, yes.
Fantastic. Then I'm going to make a strike with my final action.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Strike with the Spell Striker staff.
Love it.
All right. That is a 35 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
The Spell Striker's staff collides with the face of this creature that is now drawn towards attacking you.
Okay. That is 16 damage overall, 14 bludge, and 2 electricity. And that's
And
Sten's
all
turn.
of that seems to go through. It is now Mag's turn. Mag has just been released by this clapping, applauding fish. She is 5 feet underwater. What is she going to do?
I'll start by putting re-grabbing the Earthbreaker.
As you do that, these jaws flash out towards you as it tries to chomp on you. That is a 26 to hit.
Barely hits, but it does.
I disagree.
Why did I miss? Oh! Why is my armor class so big? Oh, because of
you're,
Courageous Anthem.
Because you're really... No. I think because of your Underwater Marauder.
It was 25 earlier in this combat. What the hell? Oh, because I was grabbed.
Because you were grabbed.
So I'm ungrabbed, so now the 26 fails. Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Always
What can
check
I
your
say?
character sheet, boys and girls.
Except you're welcome.
Nice.
We're going to need a bigger armor class. All right, so
Always
I
true.
will proceed with the two-handed strike.
Okay.
18 on the die for a 38.
Yeah, that's a critical hit because of Trill's Courageous Anthem.
All right. So
Huge.
here comes some big old damage and some rune fun. Ooh, crummy damage roll. It is 48 damage.
Okay, it seems all right. 12 of that is acid damage. The target's... I don't know if I should have taken that acid damage. Let's just say yes.
I don't think so.
I don't
'Cause
know.
You're
Who
still in the
cares?
water.
I don't... no, and I'm sorry. The reason I didn't take the acid damage is that I'm immune to acid damage. Like this fish specifically is immune to acid damage.
Got it.
Talk about an anticlimax.
Boing.
Gosh. Okay, but I also become enfeebled and clumsy for a round.
Correct. The crushing rune, clumsy 1, enfeebled 1.
And your
for a
crit
round.
spec on the hammer has me doing a fortitude save to not be knocked prone. I'm in the water. I can't get knocked prone, so I'm not going to bother.
Yes. I think I've learned my lesson on my third action, so I'm just going to try and make another strike.
Okay.
25 to hit. That doesn't
That
seem right.
Just misses.
Boo.
And at the end of Mag's turn, because she did not swim in that round, she slips down 10 feet further below the water and is now, sorry, I don't know what's happening, is now 15 feet below the surface of the water.
And how at what height, depth is the fish?
10 feet, so you can still reach it.
All right.
So Mag is just swinging, getting dragged down towards the bottom of the lake. And it is now Ao's turn. Ao has a spell affecting the fish that Mag is fighting with that if she does not sustain it, it will go away. What is Ao going to do?
Obviously, she's going to sustain that for an action. Let's do that. I guess she knows if she attacks this friend who's coming up on the boat, there's going to be an attack of opportunity,
No.
reactive strike. No.
No.
Because it went.
Right, because it's already used its reaction against Trill.
Right. Well, in any event,
You're welcome.
she's going to fire 2 arrows from new and improved chompers
Yeah.
at that friend. 29 on the first roll.
Yes, that hits.
All right. That is only 9 points of damage?
Because you don't have any sneak attack against it because
Oh.
it is not flat-footed to you.
I like it better when I get more damage.
Yeah,
Well,
word.
okay. And then the second arrow. That one is a 26?
That misses.
All right. Well, little Nick.
That's what they call him, Little Nick.
Little
That's this
Nick.
guy's
Little
name.
Nick, the fishy
Little
fish.
Nick right there, Little
Hey,
Nick.
yo, how's it going? I'm Little Nick, you guys.
Hey!
Not to be confused with Little Saint Nick. That's
No.
actually the other guy.
The Beach Boys song?
Well, the
about being
second
on a-
fish is Little Saint Nick.
Little Nick and Little Saint Nick. Yes.
Yeah.
Christmas comes this time each year.
It's a dumb sentiment, but one that I appreciate every time I hear it, to be honest. Okay, so Ao sustains a spell, lets off a quick arrow, and then another arrow flies into the water. And now this slowed fish that is fighting with Mag is going to go. So this fish reaches down towards Mag because Mag has now slipped 5 feet further, like into the water, 10 feet further into the water. This fish reaches forward with its jaws, applauding. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, let's get the strike out of the way. That's a 31 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So that is going to do to Mag 20 points of damage. And also, at the beginning of its turn, it needed to applaud, so that would provoke a reactive strike from Mag.
Yes, please. Wow, a 2 on the die.
These...
Not agreeing with me.
Yeah, these dice rolls have not been looking good for you. So this creature just bit into you for 20 points of damage, and it is going to attempt to swallow Mag whole.
No.
Oh boy.
Athletics check against Mag's...
Reflex?
Against Mag's reflex
Against
DC.
reflex.
Sorry, no, I need to grab you first. This is such a great play from Ao. I was thinking I could skip all the way to like... I was thinking I could skip all the way to swallowing Mag. That option has been taken away from me pretty much. I am going to still try to grab Mag. This is a grapple against Mag. That should be a 35 to grab Mag.
Against my reflex DC?
Against your fortitude DC.
35 still passes.
Okay. So Mag becomes grabbed as this creature bites into Mag and then clamps down firmly onto her. But it's slowed, so it's not able to swallow her, which is
Huge.
really, really, really good.
Really good.
At the beginning of round 3, the fish on the boat sees Istin, is not slowed. Here comes a jaw strike. It's a 25 to hit.
That will not hit.
It reaches out with its snout and tries to slam into Istin. It's writhing around on the boat. This is a 35 to hit Istin.
That will hit.
Istin gets bludgeoned for 21 points of damage,
Right.
and this creature shoves Istin into the water. That is a 30 versus Istin's fortitude DC.
That will succeed. Istin is shoved.
Istin gets shoved back into the water, splashes down into the water because you can't grab a ledge because you're holding something with 2 hands, right?
Makes
So
sense.
Istin just gets shoved back, splashes into the water, and this fish that is attacking Mag goes into a feeding frenzy. And we will pick up from there next time.
Cool.
I don't know if Troll's gonna get a spell off being on a boat with this damn fish.
Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated fan content policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. The Roots of Ruin is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in The Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. Visit our website, tabletopgold.com, to learn more about us and our shows, join the Golden Horde to get access to more shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.